Hi, everybody. It's Mark Rushton of markrushton.com. It is Saturday, September 27th, 2021. Hopefully later today or tomorrow, do a music session with John Harnish at his home studio. Hope to hear back from him soon with regard to that. So what are we going to talk about today? We're going to talk about my email newsletter. And I just released my email newsletter for February 2021. I usually do it about once a month. And again, you can sign up for it on my website, markrushton.com. It's a freebie. I don't try to overdo it. It's just sort of a high-level view of stuff that I've released, whether it's art-related or music-related. This one's all music-related because that's all I've really done here in the last month. The first mention here is the new single, The Storyteller, and it's a little 3-minute ambient electronic piece, and I got a link to it out on Spotify. It's out on all the streaming services. Also, Calmer Feeling, Downtown Buddhas. I've mentioned this album. It's an album of tracks mostly based on processed Buddha machine sounds, and it's really, really great tracks on the entire album. It's really just from beginning to end. It's variations and plays, and then there's a few things that are not necessarily Buddha machine related, processed, but they fit in with it as well. So there's that one. Also, the second Vibrating Wires album. It's all heavily processed and desolate sounding lap steel guitar. And the featured track here is The Long Drive Out. I like how I kind of altered the original photo there and kind of made it, kind of the opposite there. Yeah. And also released the new Ambient Manic album that John and I recorded at his place. It's called Geneva. It was recorded live in his home studio space. It's mostly a combination of ambient bass guitar, processed lap steel, or processed app and synth sounds, as well as room sounds. It's recorded on a single microphone. I think I've got the microphone. I have the microphone right here that it was recorded. I just recorded it on this little microphone. And we just, so anyway, there's a link to the track Carry It on there. Most of the tracks are shorter. Carry It is a little bit longer. And just sort of that sustained sound, a little bit of John's bass guitar, and sometimes he gets off on and playing other instruments and things like that, making sounds. We have fun. It's fun. And then on the beats, groove side of my music, Rushton, minus the mark, released a new down-tempo instrumental called Smoky Sunset, and I got a link to that on Spotify as well. Also in the playlist, I mentioned my public playlist on Spotify called 2021 Picks by DJ Rushton. And I'll be adding to that throughout the year. The whole point of this playlist is if I had a radio show in 2021, I'd be playing these new tracks. And I've been making this sort of playlist for 7 or 8 years on Spotify. And it gets a few followers. It gets a few listens. I'm not an influential person. I'm not an influencer on social media, but there's some good stuff out there. Recent additions include the pedal steel bass track Love Come Back to Me and In Crystal by Daniel Lanois from his new album, The Omni Series, Steel. I think most of these tracks were made more than 10 years ago. I think they were released on vinyl, and they're just now getting their release onto the streaming services. Very, very beautiful stuff there. And then I've also added a couple tracks by Stereolab, which was one of my favorite bands of the 1990s. They released a compilation album called Electrically Possessed, Switched On Volume 4, and I added the instrumental version of Fried Monkey Eggs and the Beats version of Monkey Jelly. Their catalog is deep and fun, particularly the alternate versions and early versions and stuff like that. I really kind of enjoy that. Also added new tracks by Paul Weller, Daniel Diaz, Nate Trier. I'm going to mess up that pronunciation. And the Chihai Hadakiyama. I probably messed that one up too. And Cub Scout Bowling Pins, which is yet another side band of Robert Pollard of Guided by Voices. The Paul Weller track. This guy, he has really, really been experimenting here the last few years. He's always, the thing about Paul Weller is uh, he's uh, he's uh, not settled into any groove. He really got into some really interesting, weird stuff in the last couple of years, and now he's going to go back to song based pieces, and he's releasing albums because he can't tour. So he's just in the studio all the time. The Mod Father's in the studio. Well, this track that I feature um, in the playlist, it's like he's fronting early '80s ZZ Top, and it's kind of good. It's kind of it reminds me very much of what ZZ Top was trying to do with Eliminator and After. Kind of, it has that sort of tech techno quality, but with the with Paul. I know it seems strange. It seems really strange. It's not bad. It's actually okay. And I just, for somebody of his age, keep keep at it, keep experimenting, keep playing around with it. He's not everything works out, but every now and then he really he drops something that you would not expect, and that's cool. That's good to see from an artist, particularly of his stature and at his age. And then, of course, here at the end, I've got some more links to all the other stuff and the video sites and everything like that. So that's my email list. It's been the email list has been growing pretty good, and I think a lot of that has to do with a thing that I publish on the Pandora side, and it's called the Artist Message, and it's available through the Pandora AMP system. And if I had to explain how you get all that sort of set up, it would be too complex. But there's one aspect of the Artist Message that artists can put under the Pandora system, where I do a voice message for my music. I'll say, hi, this is Mark Rushton. I make this kind of music. Click through to join my mailing list. It's just as simple as that. It's no more than 15 seconds. And amazingly, ever since I've been doing that, I get more and more legit people signing up for my mailing list on a very regular basis. So it's nice to see those numbers go up. I'm pretty sure that's where it's coming from, because I've talked with the people who kind of run Pandora AMP. They have like a monthly office hours and everything like that. And I said, ever since I did the Artist Message and I put the link and told people to sign up for my mailing list, I said, people are signing up for my mailing list. It was kind of, not really going anywhere there for a while. And they're like, oh yeah, that we've gotten feedback on that. Yeah, that does help a lot of artists grow their mailing list. So yeah, I know I'm revealing the secrets, but just kind of sharing that there. That's kind of fun. So, and if you're a fan that has arrived at my mailing list that way, thanks a lot. Thanks for signing up. So, like I said, I only try to send one of these out once a month. I'm not going to try and overdo it. They are what they are, and I know what the open rate is, and I'm not going to, and the click rate and all that sort of stuff. I'm not going to get too obsessed with that. I just kick it out. Try to keep it simple. There's no silver bullet here, right? What am I trying to do? Just trying to get the information out to people who are maybe don't want to watch every single video, or they follow along everything, but they kind of want to know, right? That's the purpose of this. So anyway, that is it for Saturday, February 27th, 2021. Hopefully make some music today, maybe get some things scheduled. We'll see what happens. So anyway, we'll talk to you later or talk to you tomorrow.